Everybody who subscribed this week. I got to meet a lot of really interesting people who are also on their weight loss journeys. So again, thank you and good luck on your journey. If you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and subscribe now. That way you can get my videos as soon as they come out. Planning. How many of you get stuck in this planning tornado where you're constantly writing lists and you're planning and you're saying, okay, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, tomorrow I'm gonna get started, but first I have to make my list, I have to figure out my diet first, I have to do all this stuff, and you end up planning for 2 years. Okay, maybe 2 years is a little bit too much, but the fact of the matter is a lot of us get stuck in this thinking that everything needs to be perfect before we start something. I fall victim to that all the time. First thing I want to say is, it doesn't have to be perfect, okay? The main thing is getting started. Sometimes we get planning and we constantly feel like we're planning, but nothing's getting done. And it's true, if you plan too much and you don't start anywhere, then you're gonna keep going in that cycle of planning and getting nothing done. Secondly, planning is still great. You have to have some sort of planning, because if you don't and you jump into things and you're here and there, how are you going to know what you're supposed to be doing, right? One thing that I want to make really clear is that doing the hard work now makes it easier for you later. Planning can feel overwhelming and we can get caught up in everything needs to be perfect and I have to do it right now. You don't have to have everything perfect to start. With that being said, planning is very important because you want to set yourself up for success, right? You don't want to set yourself up for failure. You do need to plan and you need to have a goal in mind when you do your planning, but don't get caught up on everything has to be perfect right now, because we do that way too much and then we get stuck planning for the 2 to 5 years and then it never happens, right? So don't do that. I would say, in my opinion, give it a week of planning. So do your research, find out what things are gonna work for you. You know, maybe get a health coach, maybe get a personal trainer. So whatever's gonna work for you, you can figure that out. But you do want to have some initial planning. Just don't let it get you overwhelmed. And when you feel like you're doing nothing but planning, just get started, dive right in, and then you can make adjustments to your plan as you go. How many of you guys, girls, people, how many of you sit there and say, oh my gosh, I feel like I'm doing so much, but nothing's getting done? Okay, I do that a lot. Remember that everything you're doing, every step you're taking to get you towards that goal, you're getting somewhere, okay? Taking that one baby step is better than sitting there and doing nothing. So don't let that stuff get you overwhelmed, and make sure you keep pushing through all of those feelings of, oh, nothing's getting done. So just because you're not seeing numbers on a scale or you're not seeing inches disappearing doesn't mean that you're not making progress. Remember that. Remember to constantly take those baby steps. Every day pick at least one thing. Say, I'm going to do one thing to get me closer towards my goal today. That's what we're going to work on. What am I planning? My workout regimen, I'm going to be doing circuit training. And why? Because muscle burns fat. There is a million things out there that tell you that, especially women working out, you're gonna get bulky and you're gonna be huge and you're gonna look like a man. That's not true. The more muscle you have in your body, whether you're a man or a woman, the more your body burns, okay? So your metabolism is going to increase the more muscle you have in your body. So doesn't it make sense to increase your muscle mass? It's kind of a no-brainer, right? You want to increase your muscle to burn more fat. So that's where I'm starting. My number one planning is I'm hitting all my major muscle groups, and I'm doing circuit training. Circuit training can be a super effective way to burn fat and gain muscle. That's where I'm gonna start first. Second thing that I'm planning is my meals. I'm doing a ketogenic diet. So ketogenics, creating ketones. This is different than ketoacidosis, which is a very dangerous thing. So don't get ketogenesis confused with ketoacidosis, because they're two different things. Ketogenesis, the ketogenic diet, just basically means that you are depleting a lot of the sugars out of your body to allow your body to generate ketones from burning fat. So your body can run on two different types of energy, and one is glucose and one is ketones. That's what I'm doing with the ketogenic diet. I'm combining that with my circuit training. So I'm going to increase my muscle mass and I'm going to decrease my fat. For the ketogenic diet, meal planning is very important. That's what's going to help you be successful or not be successful. So that is one thing that you want to spend time on if you're following what I'm doing. Your focus should be 80% on your diet and 20% on your exercise, because your diet is what's going to help you lose that weight more efficiently than exercise. You will lose some weight if you're exercising, don't get me wrong, and exercising is great for cardiovascular health. It's great for your endurance. It's great for many different things. But when you're trying to lose weight, you have to really focus on that diet. What I'm doing is like I said, I'm focusing 80% of my attention on my diet and 20% of my attention on my exercise. Weigh-in time. So today is the starting day for my weigh-in. Right now I am 247 pounds. I'm 5'4" tall. I have 42.9% body fat. My first measurement that I did was around my neck, and that was 15 inches. My second measurement was around my arms, my biceps, and that was 15.5 inches. My chest, which is from here and around, 48.5 inches. My waist was 51 inches. My hips were 50 inches. My thighs were 27 inches. My calves were 18 inches. One thing I want to make clear is that when you're losing weight, sometimes you are losing weight and sometimes you're losing inches. So don't get discouraged by checking the scale every day. We'll talk more about that in my future videos. These are some of the tools that I'm using to measure. It's a bioimpedance measurement. So what happens with this is you program your information into there and you hold it out in front of you. It sends an electrical signal and it will measure your body fat. So when it sends the electrical signal, it does not shock you. Don't be afraid to use it. It won't electrocute you, okay? Secondly, we have the MyoTape measuring tape. And this is one of my favorite tools. What happens is it's a measuring tool. It has your inches and your centimeters on here, and it has a stopper, so it will stop. You won't have to keep fumbling with it. It also has a place where you can put your loop in there and you can push the button and it will tighten up around your muscles. So when you're measuring your own inches and things, this is a great tool to use because it's really hard to kind of hold and get everything tight where it needs to be. So this is a good helper, and I'll post a link in my comments below for both of these tools so you can find them on Amazon, and they're great things to use, help you stay accurate with your measurements. If you like this video, click like and subscribe below. The more subscribers we get, the more chance I have of being able to continue these videos. So also, if you have any questions or things you want to know in my videos, post a comment below, because I can create these videos based on everything I'm thinking and everything I'd like to know as a person. But I'd also really like to know what you guys want to hear about, and I can address those questions and concerns that you have in my videos coming forward. So please comment below, say hello. I really want to meet everybody and see where you're at, if you're on your own weight loss journey or if you're just contemplating starting. It doesn't matter where you're at. Comment below, say hi, and we'll get started. Remember to have fun and make healthy choices. Thanks, see you next week.